Number 8. Sterling 825. The Sterling 825 should not have been unreliable. Its platform was the Honda Legend, one of the most capable and dependable chassis any manufacturer produced in the late 1980s. What Rover's engineers added to that foundation generated one of the most consistently poor reliability records of any premium vehicle sold in America during the decade. Consumer Reports placed the Sterling at or near the bottom of its class for multiple consecutive years, a result that defied straightforward explanation given the Honda architecture underneath. Electrical faults proved endemic, air conditioning failures, instrument cluster malfunctions, and assorted electronic problems accumulated in cars costing between $20,000 and $22,000. The Sterling dealer network, still developing the diagnostic expertise a new brand requires, could not resolve these problems consistently. Sterling withdrew from the American market in 1991 after approximately 26,000 vehicles. The Sterling is at number 8 because it demonstrated something important. A reliable platform is a necessary but not sufficient condition for a reliable car. What Rover added to what Honda had built subtracted significantly from the ownership experience that premium prices were supposed to guarantee. Number 7. Renault Alliance. The Alliance was a French platform assembled in Kenosha, Wisconsin, through a partnership between Renault and AMC, whose parts chain and dealer training were never adequate for what ordinary American ownership required. Cold weather starting became unreliable across multiple ownership winters. Throttle body failures accumulated. Electrical faults in the French-sourced systems resisted resolution at dealerships whose technicians were learning the car as owners discovered its problems. Structural rust appeared within timelines that the car's marketing had not prepared buyers to expect. The Alliance's failure demonstrated a principle the American industry would learn repeatedly. A competitive product requires a capable support infrastructure, not just a capable car, and Renault and AMC had built only one of those two things. Number 6. DeLorean DMC-12. The DeLorean DMC-12 arrived in 1981 as the most ambitious independent automotive startup the American market had seen in decades. It also arrived with quality control problems that the Dunmurry, Northern Ireland factory, built with an inexperienced workforce under development timelines that the project's financing could not sustain, documented throughout early production. Panel gaps varied between units. Interior components arrived from suppliers whose quality the company lacked the leverage to enforce. The stainless steel body showed fingerprints. The engine, a PUG Renault-Volvo joint venture V6, produced 130 horsepower in a car that period road tests found underperformed its price and visual promise significantly. In October 1982, John DeLorean was arrested on federal drug trafficking charges, though he was subsequently acquitted. The company entered receivership in the same year, ending production. As a cultural icon, the time machine in Back to the Future, the DMC-12 succeeded far more than it ever did as a sports car. As a car, it delivered exactly the quality that its financing pressures, its inexperienced workforce, and its compressed development timeline had always made likely.
Number 5. Chevrolet Citation. Motor Trend named it Car of the Year. Within the same year, NHTSA had begun receiving the first complaints about what would become the decade's most consequential domestic safety controversy. The Citation's rear wheels could lock under ordinary braking conditions, causing the car to spin. By July 1981, NHTSA had documented at least 212 owner complaints involving 58 reported accidents and 14 injuries related to the braking malfunction. GM resisted recalls at each stage. The U.S. Department of Justice ultimately filed suit against GM, alleging GM knew about the braking defects and continued selling the vehicles before implementing adequate corrective action, with federal investigators citing dozens of injuries and multiple fatalities associated with the braking controversy. GM prevailed in the 1987 ruling, but sales had already fallen from 811,000 in 1980 to 50,000 by 1985. Number 4. Cadillac Cimarron. The Cadillac Cimarron was a Chevrolet Cavalier with leather seats, a Cadillac badge, and a price approximately $12,000 higher than the car it was built on. It shared the Cavalier's J-body platform, the Cavalier's basic interior architecture, and the Cavalier's 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine. It did not share the Cavalier's price. Cadillac attempted to differentiate the Cimarron through interior trim upgrades, additional standard equipment, and the badge that had represented American luxury for 6 decades. Road testers were not persuaded. Car and Driver compared the Cimarron directly with a well-equipped Cavalier and concluded that the $12,000 premium was not supported by any meaningful mechanical or engineering advantage. Consumer Reports rated the Cimarron below average for reliability across multiple production years. Cadillac's existing customers, who had chosen the brand for its full-size cars and their specific luxury proposition, found the Cimarron's scale and engineering incompatible with their expectations. The Cimarron failed both its intended new buyers, who could see the Cavalier it was built on, and the brand's existing buyers, who could not reconcile the small front-wheel drive car with what the Cadillac name had historically meant. Number 3. Maserati Biturbo. The Maserati Biturbo was introduced in 1981 as the car that would make the Maserati name accessible, a twin-turbocharged V6 priced at approximately $25,000 rather than the six-figure figures the brand's previous offerings had required. What the accessibility brought was a reliability record that no buyer at any price should have been asked to manage. The twin-turbocharged V6 generated turbocharger failures and oil seal faults at mileages that owners of a $25,000 car found alarming. Cooling system attention arrived on schedules that contradicted the car's price. Car and Driver documented the Biturbo's reliability as among the most compromised of any car they tested during the decade. The electrical systems generated faults that Maserati's thin dealer network could rarely resolve completely. The Biturbo asked buyers to pay for Italian performance and delivered Italian character alongside a maintenance burden that made the ownership proposition difficult to sustain at any price. The car remained in production for 13 years, and later versions improved substantially. But the early American market examples established a reliability identity that the brand spent the following decade trying to recover from.
Number 2. Pontiac Fiero. The Pontiac Fiero ranks near the top of this list for a reason that separates it from every other entry on this list. Its first 3 production years generated a documented engine fire record, and General Motors had engineering data identifying the cause before the full scope of the recall was implemented. The mid-engine layout placed the 2.5-liter Iron Duke 4-cylinder in a compartment whose oil consumption characteristics, documented in pre-production testing, could allow oil to contact hot engine surfaces. In documented cases, those contacts produced fires. NHTSA investigated. The recall covered approximately 260,000 Fiero models from the 1984 through 1986 model years. Beyond the fire record, early Fieros generated reliability complaints across multiple systems. The space frame body design produced squeaks and rattles, electrical faults accumulated, and the engine delivered outputs that buyers who had purchased a mid-engine sports car found difficult to associate with that description. GM improved the Fiero substantially in 1987 and 1988, introducing a better engine and resolving the fire risk. Those improvements confirmed what the early production record had already established. The car that went on sale in 1984 had not been ready for the buyers who purchased it. Number 1. Yugo GV.
Consumer Reports declined to recommend the Yugo from its first appearance in American showrooms. The 1.1-liter four-cylinder produced approximately 55 horsepower and proved sensitive to the maintenance neglect that economy car buyers were most likely to encounter. Electrical faults appeared early and accumulated. Build quality varied between units in ways that made individual ownership experiences diverge significantly. Parts availability deteriorated as Yugoslav political instability disrupted supply chains in the late 1980s. The Yugo is at number 1 not because low-cost engineering is inherently disqualifying. It is not. It is because the Yugo failed to provide the basic transportation reliability that its $3,990 price represented to the buyers who most needed it to work. And Consumer Reports documented that failure from the car's first year of American sale to its last.